The Manhattan Project, a secret United States World War II program, developed atomic bombs. It employed over 130,000 people across Los Alamos, Oak Ridge, and Hanford. Workers operated in compartmentalized secrecy, unaware of the project's full scope. The outcome was atomic bombs used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, causing Japan's surrender and ending World War II. The bombings killed 140,000 in Hiroshima and 74,000 in Nagasaki by the end of 1945. Survivors faced health effects, including cancer. Project workers exposed to radiation developed health issues. The project ushered in the nuclear age, impacting global politics and security. The Manhattan Project cast a dark shadow over nuclear history. Compartmentalization and secrecy shrouded the development of atomic weapons. Scientists and workers became unwitting sacrifices in the pursuit of nuclear power. The Fukushima Daiichi disaster in 2011 had significant nuclear censorship issues. Japan's government monitored online reports and social media posts about the crisis, raising concerns about narrative control. Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, admitted to delaying disclosure of meltdowns at 3 reactors for 2 months, describing it as a cover-up. Japanese media reported heavy self-censorship on Fukushima-related topics due to pressure from the government and the nuclear lobby. In 2014, the newspaper Asahi Shimbun was forced to retract an article about the disaster, with journalists involved transferred or forced to resign. The Kursk Submarine disaster in 2000 saw the Russian government tightly control information, refusing to release a list of missing sailors, restricting media access, and heavily editing official broadcasts. In one instance, a distraught mother was forcibly sedated during a meeting with President Putin. These examples demonstrate various forms of information control, from direct government intervention to self-censorship and pressure on media organizations in the aftermath of nuclear incidents. The aftermath of the Fukushima disaster remains downplayed and censored. Specific individuals, like Dana Dunford and Kevin Blanch, face shadow banning or censorship for discussing anti-nuclear issues. Advocate voices are silenced to control the narrative. Even one of my anti-nuclear YouTube videos on my Clevelandmarko channel, which initially received over 60,000 views, dwindled to nothing. It's no accident. The 2017 Mayak nuclear facility incident in Russia saw authorities initially denying the release of ruthenium-106 detected across Europe, later admitting to a release but downplaying its significance and refusing to disclose full details. In the same year, North Korea tightly controlled information about its nuclear test, releasing only carefully curated images and statements, forcing international observers to rely on seismic data and satellite imagery. The International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, is the global nuclear watchdog established in 1957 to promote the safe and peaceful use of nuclear technology. It conducts inspections and verifications to ensure compliance with nuclear safeguards agreements. The U.S. Department of Energy delayed reporting a tunnel collapse at the Hanford nuclear waste site, raising concerns about potential radiation releases. Iran has restricted IAEA inspections and controlled media coverage of its atomic activities, limiting transparency. Similar issues occurred during the Fukushima and Chernobyl incidents, where initial denials and restricted information hindered accurate risk assessment. The nuclear industry's influence extends to media and policy. Opposition to nuclear power and uranium mining faces systematic censorship. This control of information aims to maintain public support for atomic energy. The actual cost of nuclear power remains hidden. Long-term environmental impacts are minimized or ignored. Health effects on communities near nuclear facilities are often dismissed or attributed to other causes. Nuclear waste storage presents an unsolved problem. Governments struggle to find safe, long-term solutions. The risks of contamination persist for thousands of years, burdening future generations. Military applications of nuclear technology drive ongoing research and development. The threat of nuclear war looms while disarmament efforts stagnate. Proliferation concerns grow as more nations seek atomic capabilities. The nuclear industry's economic viability relies on government subsidies and limited liability. Actual costs of accidents and waste management are externalized to taxpayers. This financial structure distorts the energy market. Uranium mining devastates landscapes and indigenous communities. Workers face occupational hazards, including increased cancer risks. These human and environmental costs are factored into nuclear energy discussions. The nuclear weapons stockpile threatens global security. Modernization programs consume vast resources, perpetuating the arms race. Efforts to reduce atomic arsenals face political and technical issues. Radiation's invisible nature compounds public fear and mistrust. Governments and industry struggle to communicate risks. This information gap fuels conspiracy theories and undermines informed decision-making. Nuclear technology's dual use. Nature complicates international relations. Peaceful nuclear programs can mask weapons development. This ambiguity strains diplomatic efforts and non-proliferation agreements. The nuclear industry's influence extends to academia and research. Funding priorities control scientific inquiry and bias results. Critical studies may face publication barriers or limited dissemination. Nuclear accidents' long-term health effects remain understudied. Epidemiological research faces funding constraints and data access issues, hampering the proper assessment of atomic technology's true impact. Decommissioning aging nuclear plants presents technical and financial burdens. And the process takes decades and costs billions, soon trillions. Proper disposal of radioactive materials remains an unsolved problem. Nuclear energy's future remains uncertain. Nuclear censorship hides critical information about radiation releases, health risks, and environmental contamination from nuclear accidents and weapons production. This lack of transparency prevents people from taking protective actions, delays medical treatment for radiation exposure, and hinders efforts to clean up contaminated areas, ultimately endangering public health and damaging ecosystems. Thank you for watching my new Rumble channel. I will promise to make each video better. This video comes from one of my book chapters found on Amazon Book. Nuclear Extinction Event is Killing Our Families by Marko Vovk. I need subscribers, so please subscribe, like, and share. Disclaimer, I have been a YouTuber for 16 years and have been censored and shadow banned for my opinion-based videos. Many of my videos have been taken down. Please research on your own and make your own opinion.